Hello everyone, this is Mitalee Agrawal, Public Relations Officer at IIT Hyderabad, and thanks a lot for your wonderful support, love and affection and so many views on YouTube for our very first episode of IITH Hum, hashtag with the season 1 as hashtag alumni diary. And we are again as promised back though it is released on Sunday, we are recording on some other day with our yet amazing, adorable alumni of IITH. And today, season 1, episode 2, hashtag entrepreneur route, we have very interesting lady with us, very young, dynamic, charismatic lady, Miss Namratha Vedire. She is BTech 2012 pass out with major in electrical engineering and minor in computer science. She is currently working as a director, platform and operation engage at Yale Robotics Funds, and she is also into the advisory board member of the institute. Now, without taking much time, I welcome on board Namrata to please tell us something about yourself.
Thanks, Mitalee. Thank you for having me, and it's a lot of fun to do this. I don't think I've been back to IIT Hyderabad in a long time, so this is a virtual way to connect with the campus. So I appreciate the opportunity. I've been the 10 years since I graduated from IIT Hyderabad seemed like a blur. I can promise you, it feels like I left yesterday, but. Right now, I work as I lead the programming for Engage, which is a very unique venture fund and program that is connects entrepreneurs that are building enterprise technology to large corporations like UPS, Home Depot, and then, like you said, I do serve as the on the advisory board for Yale's Roberts Innovation Fund and a few other institutions like that, but. The most significant things that have happened to me since I left IIT Hyderabad, I guess IIT Hyderabad got a new campus, which I've only been to once and haven't seen fully developed, and I'd love to come back sometime soon. I went to Yale to get my PhD over there, spent 5 years in a very different environment from IIT Hyderabad. When we were in class and going through school at IIT Hyderabad, we were on ODF's campus. There was almost nothing there. Along with my batchmates and the professors and the directors, then we built a lot of the infrastructure and the culture of IIT Hyderabad. So I feel very proud to be an alum today. At Yale, it was a very different environment. You walk into an institution that has 300 years of history, and you feel very small and insignificant. But it gave me the opportunity to sort of say, okay, I don't have to do all of this building stuff. I can build myself. I can go pursue the opportunities that I want to pursue, learn the things that I want to learn. And that's the frame of mind that I went to Yale with, and it was an extraordinary place to learn. I really enjoy it. It's very different from my IIT Hyderabad experience in many ways, but both of them I value very much for being transformational and foundational for me.
It is very interesting to know, Namrata, about all this, your additional academic further in your head actually. So how much, since we discussed earlier, you belong to Hyderabad. So what made you to come to IIT Hyderabad? Because recently I was talking to someone, many of the girls especially don't want to be in the same place into of their hometown. So what is the reason behind coming to IIT?
Okay, you're not going to like this answer because this is not a great answer. But the answer is that I did not want to come to IIT Hyderabad. If you remember the ranking that we had to do after we finished the JEE, we were asked to fill up in order what we would like to get, and I got some advice very early on that you had to be somewhere between a CS. Computer science was very big back in 2008 when I was making that decision. And somebody gave me this advice that whether you choose CS or EE, you kind of have to be somebody who sort of has both skills to be able to thrive in the job market afterwards. So in the ranking, when I was filling it up, another one of my father's friends gave the advice that IIT Hyderabad's CS and electrical engineering programs are going to get filled up first. It's going to be the best. You have to put that rank higher, and I did. And when I got matched, I don't think that I absolutely thought that it would get filled and I would not get into IIT Hyderabad and I would go somewhere else to like more established IIT. Um, and in that moment, when the results were announced, I think I was heartbroken to come to IIT Hyderabad. But in retrospect, 10 years, 14 years after that decision was made, I think it was one of the best decisions of my life. Like that was made for me in many ways. I'm very glad to have been someone who went to IIT Hyderabad, who can say, I helped build an institution in ways. I mean, how many people around have can ever make the claim they're the first batch of a college that has the credentials, the visibility, and the amazing qualities that IIT Hyderabad now has. I'm just proud to be an alum for that reason.
Actually, we missed you. If I'm sure you are at least aware of that, we decimal based celebration we have done this year, and you are actually one of them. So we actually really missed you, and I'm sure you were saying that it was not best decision to come to IIT, but you yourself answered that it is you feel so that it is one of the best decision. And there's a very spiritual saying. I just because it's a platform to motivate people. Is it is said that if it happens what you have not thought for, it happens for your good. And I think so. Your case is a shuttle example of that. That you might have not loved to come to IITH, but now you're not head so. So now you were in electrical engineering quite long. Though I know that right now you are into entrepreneurship. Both start from E, interestingly, which I see. Okay. And so, what is your favorite subject in the electrical engineering stream? If I say, or you enjoyed at IIT Hyderabad.
Yeah, the reason I came to IIT Hyderabad and the thing that I thought I wanted to learn and build a career in was actually nanotechnology and nanoelectronics. I really thought that that would be the field that I could build my career in. Hindsight, right? That's nothing close to what happened. But I think my favorite subject really was wireless communication systems. Like we had a professor from IIT Madras, Dr. David Koil Pillai, who used to come in and teach us some basic electronic courses in the first 2 years. And I still remember how amazing he was in his course. I think whether you like a subject or not is completely dependent on the professor who's teaching it and how well they teach it. And my love for everything that is digital communications and wireless electronics comes from Dr. Koil Pillai.
Okay, no, it is actually obviously IIT Madras is looks like in the roots and DNA of IIT Hyderabad. I don't mind saying that that's the reason we are excelling at very young age. Like what the growth IIT Madras has seen way back at the age of 45, we are into that now. Obviously, this is also thanks to the digitization we are all witnessing. But from this, I know there are very limited faculty that time. But do you remember any professor from IITH from your memory? Like which made an impact on you?
Yeah, I think that Dr. Desai, who was the director for IIT Hyderabad in our early days, he was definitely one of the core people. He taught us a few courses. I still remember he said, if you walk out of my course and remember nothing except the fact that there's something about systems engineering that you can apply to every part of your life, I will be happy. And Dr. Desai, if you're hearing, I promise you, I do not remember anything else in your course except that. And I do apply systems engineering to everything I do. I think it's a guiding principle for how to organize your life. So Dr. Desai is definitely one of those. We had a few others. Dr. Zafar, who was our electrical engineering chair, he was incredible. We had Dr. Rajashri, who taught us a lot of electronics and was actually led a couple of labs for us. She was phenomenal too. Quite a few of the professors that IIT Hyderabad brought on in the later years who made a significant impact, I would say.
Because since I'm not sure if you are following us regularly, my request would be you can follow us at least on some of the social media where you're active, maybe like LinkedIn. We are also equally active there also. Just since you told the name of Professor Raja Lakshmi, if I'm correct. So she
Oh,
is
I'm
now,
sorry. Yes, Dr. Rajalakshmi.
yeah, and just to share with you, she is one of the dynamic lady. Obviously, we are cherishing at IIT Hyderabad. She has come up with one very interesting 130 crore worth of project at IITH, which is into autonomous navigation. We have built up a track to test the autonomous aerial and ground vehicle at IITH. So this is the one thing. And at the end, I have something in mind, which maybe I'll ask you, and maybe you can also support very well, where the IITH maybe needs the help of alums like you. So now coming to all this theoretical and academic. So what is the other activity you were involved and you enjoyed it a lot at IIT Hyderabad?
Oh, like I don't even know how to say this, but we were the first batch. Like there were 9 women in my batch, and 102 boys, I think. So it was like that it was an incredible experience to sort of learn and find out something about 100 other people at a very core key level. For a year, there was nobody else on campus except us and professors who would come in and out. And we had to do everything. Like if you wanted to play sports, like it was 100 people playing pretty much everything that there was to play. And if you wanted to field a team with 9 girls, like what sport can you play on both sides, right? So we played with the guys, like we played basketball with the guys. We had intramural and interdepartmental sports. I was horrible at basketball, but I also led the IITH women's team to the inter-IIT sports meet for basketball. I was awful at it. I should never have been given that opportunity, but you don't have all options, so you do everything. So that was incredible. We played volleyball, which I was marginally better at, but again, not necessarily a team that we fielded. But it was a lot of fun. We had some sports coaches who also made quite a bit of difference. We also had, I remember running a little bit of track. I remember playing shot put and stuff like that. Again, for participating in inter IIT. It was just an incredible experience to not only see and thrive in the academic sphere, but also in some ways be forced to play sports. In some ways, you also had to help build things. Like you want a student festival, well, go build it yourself, right? So I was part of the team that helped build Elan in the first couple of years. I don't know if that's still the student festival or not, but that was what we had helped build.
Sorry to interrupt you. You can continue your memories, but just to share with you, you will love to hear that this February, Elan is going to have its 14th edition.
So there you go. The reason that's
So
happening is
kudos to
because
you
we
all.
started.
Yeah, yeah. So credit
Yeah.
to you all who started it, and that's the reason now people can say it is a 14th edition. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
would have heard during Alumni Day that we are entering elegantly into our 15th crystal year. So that is all because of the people like you. Okay, coming to IITH could be your whatever fate, but what you made after that, you didn't like walk down from the track, that you still run for it whether you like it or not, and made IITH stand where it is. So really thanks to you on behalf of the IITH committee, to the alums.
Well, no, you should. The credit belongs to my entire batch. I just want to be very
I
clear. We
said
had
alums like you.
Yeah, we had an incredible group of people. I think everybody was of the mindset that you have to roll up your sleeves and you have to build together, building not just what these types of institutional things like Elan and a sports culture, but also there was a very strong work ethic. I think that performing at the highest level, no matter what size the school is, also comes because my class had so many amazing people who sort of pushed each other forward. I don't think I would have built the work ethic that I have if it wasn't for my classmates.
So what is, you had, I'm sure, n number of memory, your album will be full of lot of photographs, but what is your best memory out of IIT Hyderabad?
Um, this is, I think this is going to be something very unique. So, because we were on ODF's campus, we didn't have, and we only had 9 women in my batch. We didn't actually have a girls' hostel. The guys had a hostel, but we didn't have a girls' hostel. What they did was they took one of the ODF, the houses that they have for the folks, the military folks, and they converted that house into a girls' hostel by putting like dividers and bunk beds. And so for 4 years, that was hostel for me. Like it was a house that I lived in with 8 other wonderful human beings that I still am in touch with, that I still cherish a lot of memories with them. Um, and that experience of sort of finding yourself in such a transformational moment, being able to rely on friendships that sort of grew in that time. I think that was an incredible moment for me. I think the last year we moved to an actual girls' hostel because there was enough people to actually build a hostel for, um, and it sort of diminished that strength of friendship and that bond that we had built together. If I could go back, I think that's the one thing that I would change. I would wanted to have graduated with that close knit community that I had for the first 3 years.
That is really wonderful. So, what is the message you would like to give to the current folk who's at IITH, who I don't want to bring any critical element over here, but who feels like IIT needs a lot of improvement in the infrastructure, and there are people like you who feel so those ODF kind of those interim and transit campus was as lovable, adorable, beautiful, and the best moment of your life. So, what is the message you would like to give to them?
Yeah, it's a hard thing, right? Like no matter where you are, you find yourself in a situation where you want more. And I think that's just being human at some level. We're all human. We want what we think other people have, or we want the things that we want for no reason. All I'll say is, I think the reason both at IIT Hyderabad and then at Yale, the reason my experiences were so pivotal for me was because I made those experiences things that I wanted to do. So instead of, yes, work towards the things that you want to build, if it's infrastructure, if it's clubs, if you want to bring partnerships with big industries, work towards that. Don't wait for somebody to give you permission. I think in a lot of ways, that was what we did. We just wanted to do stuff. So we went and figured out how to do it. You still have the power to make things happen. Doesn't matter the size of the campus, doesn't matter who is in charge, who's not in charge. If it's a great idea, you'll find the money for it. I work with entrepreneurs every single day today. And in a lot of ways, I think when you are in resource and capital constrained environments, necessity becomes the mother of all inventions. So it was like that for us at IIT Hyderabad. I feel like I got my entrepreneurial roots because of that experience. That's why I like being on small teams that are tasked with impossible missions and vision. And so like I challenge you to take that figure out what you are passionate about. What do you want to bring onto campus? What do you want to experience in your own life, and find a way to do it. Find two friends that you want to do it with. It doesn't have to be a startup. It can be something that will leave its own legacy so that 10 years afterwards, you're here and you're talking to Mitalee and you'll tell them, if it weren't for me, like, and what we did, like, there wouldn't be a sports meet, like there wouldn't necessarily be like an Elan or a cultural festival. And I think that you have the power to do it. You don't wait for somebody to give you that permission.
Oh, it is a really wonderful message for you that you should not wait for opportunity to come. You should create an opportunity. I think that is the mantra on which entrepreneurship is based on. What is I was discussing how you feel so that you can contribute to your alma mater. As we were discussing this alumni day, that this is not only we are requesting like kind of financial assistance, which obviously some or other day will come to institute some or other way. But just to tell you, IIT Hyderabad is doing phenomenally well in terms of innovation, in terms of entrepreneurship. We are going to have a school of innovation and entrepreneurship at IIT Hyderabad. Probably in the next year or coming very soon, going to have a BTech in entrepreneurship. Can you imagine that? No one had, and you know that IIT Hyderabad is always pioneer. We are the one who launched a BTech in AI and the biomedical and all that. And thanks to the people like you who has given a vision to India, the startup India, the government is working on. We're going to come up with the entire school of entrepreneurship. I don't know if you're aware of, we already have a department of entrepreneurship now. There's no more a minor in entrepreneurship offered at IIT Hyderabad. We have a department of entrepreneurship and management. And I don't know if you're aware of, we have a 150,000 square feet of technology innovation park and technology research park separately. We have a 125 plus startup at IIT Hyderabad at present, who has created 1,000 plus jobs and 1,000 plus crore revenue into the system. So there are many people like you who are there to fuel this spirit of startup in India. So now you come from that particular background. So what is your take on giving back to alma mater in some or other way?
Yeah, it's great that you're asking me this question, Mitalee, because I've been in touch with Dr. Ganesh, who leads the entrepreneurship department right now, and he's told me about the plans to build it into an actual school and start giving degrees. I work with him and Dr. Nakul and Dr. Jayashree. I believe there's a entrepreneurship talk series that's going to be launched. So
Yes, yes.
I've already introduced them to a few entrepreneurs in my network to help them get that kickstarted. The other thing to also know is there are a lot of venture capital funds that are getting started in India. I think the moment is now, the time is now to double down and invest into those areas and bring those resources to campus so that students can access, not just come up with great ideas, but also access the capital that they need to push that forward. So when the school launches, I'm here. I want to be a resource. I want to help the best I can, whether it's connections, whether it is actually helping, give a talk or co-teach a course or whatever the school needs. I'd love to work with Dr. Ganesh and the rest of the crew there to make that happen.
This is very wonderful of you to connect back to the campus. And just to tell you, this particular IITH because of which we are talking today, is basically under the campus connect camping I'm launching nowadays. Lot of ideas are coming, so I'm just floating them as and when they're coming. So it is a 1.0. There was a 1.0 through which I'm making people like you. Sometimes they're not aware of what is around the campus. So every Tuesday I launch a Tuesday tickler. It is a puzzle game which is all about IIT. It's like this time the particular which is on this last yesterday I released is how many alumni got awarded this alumni day, and there are four
Mm.
options like ABC. And there's a one thing I launched which is yet to pick up is a photo wall. We have created certain interesting walls on the campus, and we want people to use that and bring it to the social media so that people can feel the spirit of community in the IITH. And the third one is a hum. People like
Hmm.
wonderful alumni like you are going to take it forward. We have already 300 plus likes, views on episode one, and you are being on entrepreneurship. I'm expecting it to be a blockbuster and mega episode. And the fourth one also we are going to launch soon. You will hear from us if you are registered at the rate alumni. You will soon hear what is that. 4.0 like industry 4.0, we're going to have a campus connect 4.0. So,
Mm.
like so far, we were inside the campus. Now we want to go beyond the campus. So, you hear that, and with the liberty of certain members. And I would like to, because this program is going to air this Sunday on December 25th. By then,
Yeah.
it is already released on Alumni Day. Congratulations to you. You are one of the top 23 finalists of 10 on 10, which thanks to the IIT Alumni Association, one of the great initiative to bring the good work of people like you forward so that many other can take a motivation from it. And also, I know that you are one of the winner also. So congratulations to you for that. Unfortunately, we will be missing you on the event. So what is your take on that? How you feel so with that award, which is being, and it is, and what we understood, it is a scrutiny of a very critical mind people. So obviously the result out, and obviously with your talk, we can understand you are a well deserver of that. So what is your take on that?
Well, first of all, Mitalee, I have to thank the judging panel, the IIT Hyderabad Alumni Association, and of course, the director and everybody else for helping put up such a mission, for considering me, and for thinking that I'm worthy of being a winner. I really appreciate it. And, um, you know, I have to say, like, I'm a product of the environment that I grew up in. Even though IIT Hyderabad at that time is not what IIT Hyderabad is today, it still played a big role in shaping who I am, how I look at the world, how I interact with the world. And in a weird way, you asked me this question in the beginning, if you were from Hyderabad, why did you join IIT Hyderabad? There are a lot of people who don't want to. Um, I think one of the silver linings of being able to do that was that my parents were actually played a huge part in my campus life. I remember a lot of times when they would just drive in from the city, spend, a few hours on a Sunday with me, or over the weekend, they'd bring us food. I think they fed half the campus sometimes. But, I didn't feel like I was far away from home because I was living in a house with other people that I really enjoyed being with, that I learned with. And then I had my parents and my family really close to me. And what I take away from that is the sense of community that IIT Hyderabad helped shape. I've taken that with me everywhere that I go, and I look for people who help me build that sense of community. And for me today, why I'm successful, all of my achievements, it's because of the people that I have around me. So I owe a lot to my alma mater for sure. My success today wouldn't be possible without my parents, without my family, without the people that I hold really close and whose advice I live on. Sometimes, critical conversations that you have with the people that you love help shape your worldview. And I think that that's what's helped me move as far forward and as far as I have. And I know who the other winners are. I can't. I feel like I'm in incredible company. Yeah, it's still not sinking in, and I'm so sad that I won't be there on the 23rd to actually accept the award myself. But just know that because of how the campus was built and the culture back then, I think my parents feel just as equally motivated and feel like they own a part of this award. And if they don't, I want them to know that this award wouldn't have been possible without them. And probably they're better recipients. I still think today, like my dad sends me clippings of IIT Hyderabad news that come up in the newspaper, and he keeps telling me all the things that he hears. I know a lot of his friends, daughters and sons have also gone on to IIT Hyderabad, so I kind of have a connection to that campus life through them. Yeah, I'm just incredibly thrilled, humbled to be selected, and congratulations to the other winners. Very, very well deserved, and special thanks to the judging panel.
So, as you obviously, I think so. Somewhere obviously the parents are our start. They are the initiator of us. Okay, and even the thanks is not enough for them.
Yeah.
And I think so now I think the US Foundation is also picked up well. I think so there are some people like Ankit or someone, if I'm not correctly taking their name, sorry for that, but it is something from Mr. A. There are other people who are building the community of IITs people in the US. So maybe it's also one my urge on behalf of the institute that maybe if you people can also bring it closer, then I'm sure there's a lot of elements of IITH in the US. If we can bring together so that because you are into similar kind of a geography mindset and all that, the policies and all, you can bring together all the expertise of yourself, and this is what we want the alma mater back from you. So definitely. So once again, congratulations to you, Namrata. Name I just want to say because we got a little faster. And I'm sure this will help a lot of the people who may not be feel equally excited to do electrical engineering after even PhD. They can still turn their profile. Even I'm a shuttle example. I'm a PR by passion actually. So as you have given a very great message that do whatever you love. So rest is all lovely. So what is the last question which I would like to ask everyone is, you have such a wonderful connect with you, such a motivation you have given to the people. So someone want to connect with you. So what is the preferred mode of communication you have?
Yeah, I think LinkedIn would be the best way to reach me. And I might be a little slow, but I'll definitely get back to you. The other thing, Mitalee, before we wrap, I do want to add, you know, it's hard to see where you are on campus because you're surrounded by incredibly talented people. But if you zoom out, you go take a job once you graduate, you start to realize that the incredible amount of smartness, brain power, talent that is on campus, you won't see it anywhere else, and you'll miss that sense of how can I do better? How can I learn from my peers? And to your point, like these alumni groups are incredibly important to help you keep that going. But the other thing is also IIT Hyderabad has this incredible connection with the government of Japan, and I was somebody who benefited from it. I got the Todai scholarship for the 4 years that I was there at IIT Hyderabad. I went and did an internship with Hitachi because of the Genesis exchange program. Just take use of the incredible differentiated opportunities that you have because you're part of IIT Hyderabad as well. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Namrata. It's wonderful talking to you, and thanks a lot to all of you. Please give your love and views on YouTube so that we get motivated and bring a lot of people like Namrata on board, so that there's a lot of need and thirst of positivity, I think so, in the current world, and we continue with that. So stay positive, stay blessed, and stay safe. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Thank you, Namrata.
Thank you.